Hello and welcome. It's Marilyn Devonish here, the NeuroSuccess coach and rapid transformation specialist from TranceFormationstm.com. And welcome to the next in the Rapid Transformation series. So this is for the Rapid Transformation app. With some of the shorter ones, I may also put them up on my podcast, but I'm starting the recordings now for the app, and this is one of them. Now, if you are an all access pass lifetime holder, then the app is completely free. You should already have the details about how to access that, but if you don't, I'll send you the coupon code. And for those of you on my e-newsletter list, as you will know, when we're kind of launching, you'll get 10% off. So what this is going to be is a mixture, really. The way I think I'll probably work it is there'll be times where we do a think piece like today, and those are oftentimes based on conversations that I've had or questions that I've received from clients, people I've been speaking to. And then for the process version, which will be for the transformation app, I will then share with you a process from the field of personal development which can support whatever it is we've been talking about. So for example, today we're going to be looking at keys to success. And is there a key? Is there a secret key to success? And also the flip side of that, what if there is no definitive right way? And I've got, how many we've got here? 8 quick points. And I say quick because I'm going to go through them quickly. If I talked about them all at length, we'll be here for a couple of hours. So I'm going to go through them very, very quickly. And then I will share, talk to you about a process that will be great for that. And then I'll do another recording for the longer process so that you can do it as a guided process, because I was asking my e-newsletter for feedback about a process that I'm putting together and recording, Ho'oponopono. If you've done the Huna with me, you'll know what that is, and it's different from the social media version. I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. With this version, it's the full-on version that I learnt when I went out to Hawaii to study Huna, with the stage and the Arca connections and the Avaiku and all that, and the swords and blades of light and all of that sort of good stuff. And one of the suggestions was having intro and outro music. I was like, brilliant. Now I'm auditioning music at the moment, so I haven't decided on exactly what I'm going to use, but the intro you heard was just the starting point of having intro and outro. And also someone else said, well, when you're doing a process, how about recording the introduction piece, as in here, the preamble, and then having a separate recording with just the process, so someone can just hit play and the process starts straight away. Which brilliant idea. So thank you to everyone who listened to the Ho'oponopono recording and fed back on that. And for those of you who provided feedback, when I do the re-recording, I will send it, because it's for a product, but I will send you the re-recording as a gift free of charge, just to say thank you for the time that you've taken to both listen to it and to get back to me with your feedback. All right, so that's the introduction done. So coming to this question, is there some key, some definitive secret to success? My guess is you can ask 20 people and you'll get 39.5 different answers. So the conversation I'd had, and I did this years ago also as a Facebook Live, with what if there's no definitive right way? So going to very quickly go through these points, see how we go for time, because I want to sort of keep this to under 10 minutes. So we'll either get through all of the 8 points or I'll go catch those later on another recording. So number 1, the thing about this is when you really think about life, there are so many different pathways. And you can't necessarily tell which is the right path, but the right path, that word right, that's not what I mean. Because, okay, think of it like Charles Dickens. It's just come into my head. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, is a very quick way. Now, it's a whole verse, but it was the best of times, it's the worst of times, is a really good way to sum that up. Because one of the things, if you speak to people who are deep in personal development, and particularly if they're coaches, therapists, etc., practitioners, if you say to them, why did you get started? What, got you into the field? Da 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 da. Often, not always, not all the time, but oftentimes there is a story there. a version of the archetypal journey. I'll do a recording, podcast, etc. on the archetypal journey, looking at some of those 8 stages, but they've been through the archetypal journey. Some of you might know that as the hero's journey. The archetypal journey is the way that Carl Jung had talked about it and described it. Joseph Campbell calls it the hero's journey, and that's the one that's been more popularized. Now with the hero's journey, it's exactly that. There's a journey and there are twists and turns along the way. You'll come to a fork in the road, etc. So with regards to, I'm definitely not going to get through all 8 of these in 10 minutes, so we'll see how we go. But with regards to this, when you speak to people, the journey hasn't always been a smooth one. Oftentimes there have been some ups and there have been some big old deep down dark dirty downs. And from my perspective, let's say there was trauma there. So someone might say, oh my goodness. Now for those of you who are listening to this, if you are sensitive, let me just preface this by saying what I'm about to say no longer has a neurological impact on me. I can say it just as easily as what kind of herbal tea what have I got here today? Lemon and ginger is here today. So it's as easy as me saying, what kind of herbal tea would you like? When I was growing up, from the age of 7 to 17, I was sexually abused. So based on what I've just said in terms of the ups and downs, etc., the logical conclusion is, oh my gosh, don't you wish that didn't happen? Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, life would have been way easier if it hadn't have happened. And emotionally, I would have been in a much better place from the age of 7 to 32. That's a given. And would I be doing what I am doing today if I hadn't had that challenging background? I don't know. If I'm going to sum this up in 2 words, it's the name of a film. The film is Sliding Doors. Stars Gwyneth Paltrow. And Gwyneth, in a nutshell, the film is really cleverly done, actually. If you haven't seen it, look it up. The film runs on 2 parallel tracks, and you jump between the 2 lives that Gwyneth Paltrow is living. One of the lives is she jumps on a tube, London Underground, she jumps on the tube and goes straight home. And the other story is, just as she gets to the platform, many of you will be familiar with this, the door closes in her face and she misses it. And depending on whether she catches it or not, that then determines what happens next in the story. And I'm not going to tell you what happens next. I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. But if you have, you know exactly what I mean. Each of those pathways will have its ups and downs. So it's not necessarily going, that was the right way and that was the wrong way. They are just different. And the way I'm going to explain this one is you can take the scenic route. You can go the long way, you can go the short way, or you can, as Iyanla Vanzant used to say, you can be up and down and then there are valleys. So for me, I took the long way, the up and down in those valleys, and I know that experience is part of the basis of what I do now. And it also, I don't know, how can I describe this? Okay, I'm just going to go for the want of a better term at the moment. I'm going to say I was trauma informed, so that when I was sitting down with other people, having made the decision to become a coach and therapist, I now had a deeper appreciation of what it is like to go through something traumatic year in, year out, for so many years. That was 10 years. That's a long time, particularly when you're that sort of age, starting at 7 years old. So I guess if I'm going to use a word, empathy. Now, the empathy wasn't there before I got into personal development. It was pure on anger. And actually disgusting guilt, self-loathing as well. There's a whole raft of things in there. We are going to talk about things like timeline therapy as part of this, etc. So I wasn't there. It wasn't like, oh, this has happened, now look at me, I've got all this. No. That's not how it played out at all. It came to a head when I contemplated suicide at age 32. It just happened to coincide with getting into personal development, which is why I am such a fan of personal development and absolutely love it. So as part of this whole journey, I'm going to say A to Z, but I'm not going to go in order, because if I try to go seriously, I don't often use the word try. I use it here consciously. if I were to try to go to an A to Z, I would need the next probably 100 years to go into all of the nuances. And as much as I believe in longevity, I'm not sure I'm going to live to be, 160. So plus, well, you never know. But at this point in time, of what we know about longevity, that's unlikely. So what I'm going to do is I will work my way through the modalities that I use. We're also going to go off on some side tangents, and I'll share with you some processes, etc. So submodalities has a wonderful process. Well-formed outcomes is a great process. Strategy, elicitation, anchoring. So we'll go off on those tangents. We're not going to go alphabetically though, because it will take us ages to get to soul plan and timeline therapy, for example. So when I got into personal development, the change and transformation was so dramatic that I just woke up one day and went, right, I was studying to be a chartered accountant at the time with the ACCA. I just got up and said, right, I'm giving up the chartered accountancy studies. I'm going to be a coach and hypnotherapist and NLP trainer instead. Everyone around me thought I'd lost my mind. There were family members who thought I'd been inducted into a cult. Because it was just so abrupt and just seemed to be crazy. You're going to go from studying to be an accountant to a hypnotherapist. That just sounded absolutely bonkers. We'll probably do a piece on life purpose as well. So that's why I'm such a fan of personal development, because it was dramatic. Within the space of a few days, my life completely changed and transformed, hence the transformation TM banner. So that's a little flavour of what we've got in store. So what I'll probably do is I'll come back to this one. We'll work our way through some of these other points and have a chat. And as I said, I want to keep these kind of short and snappy. So it could be, even when I've got something like 5, 10, 15, 20 points, it may just be that I cherry pick 1 or 2 of them for the shorter intro. And then if people really want to do a deeper dive, I'll put those into the Rapid Transformation app, because it's something you can have on your device, you can have it on your tablet, somebody's just tested it, you can also have it on your desktop. And that means you can pull your phone out. Let's say you're on a long train journey, you might go, right, what was Marilyn saying about these keys to success? Put your headphones in and Bob's your uncle, as we say. So this is just a little flavour of what I have planned. So yeah, those of you on my e-newsletter list, if you have questions, things that you would like me to explore or address or touch on, ping me an email. You can just reply to the e-newsletter, or if you listen to this and go, what is it again? I'll say it and I'll spell it. It's Marilyn@transformationstm.com. So that's Marilyn, same spelling as Marilyn Monroe, because I get all kind of weird spellings. So Marilyn @transformationstm.com, TRANCE, F for Freddy, FORMATIONS, TM as in trademark. So Marilyn @transformationstm.com. Main website is transformationstm.com as well. There is a contact page on there where the email is listed. Also, there's a red What's New button at the top of the site. Click that, a panel will slide out, and that's sort of like a news bulletin, events that are coming up, blogs, links to blogs, etc. It's like a forthcoming events. And also, if you're not on the e-newsletter list and you would like to be, then whilst you're on that main homepage, look on the top left and you'll see the opportunity for you to sign up for my e-newsletter list. All right, I shall leave it there. Thank you for listening. Thank you in advance for your questions, and because that will make it a little bit more juicy and meaty, and there'll be things in there that are very relevant to you. And based on your questions, I will also then choose the processes and the modalities that I go into first. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. If you happen to be watching this on YouTube and I've added a video behind it, we'll see how we go. And if you're in the Rapid Transformations app, then hello and welcome, and watch this space. Keep your ear to the ground for future recordings. Marilyn Devonish, the NeuroSuccess coach and Rapid Transformation specialist, over and out.